So it's the 10th year of the landing in the Hudson and the saving of that plane. And I had this idea for a military weapon while I was watching that because a flock of birds got into two engines and knocked it down. The airplane, the jet, technically. What if we used a flacking system that had a high speed release burst cloud of fiberglass residue that is innate in the air itself but is dynamic to be sucked in a fluid form through a jet engine? So it's designed to have a long thread like form that's squared edges, and when it goes through the jet engine itself and it gets hot, it tears itself to shreds and becomes solidified. But not only that, it's a radioisotope. So you have a jet coming, right? At say Mach 6, and you know the jet's coming because you know it's on the blip radar and it's far enough away. You start flacking in front of it, and this is a powder substance that stays in the air and it sucks into the jet engines, and it's designed to freeze up the engines themselves so the jet falls out of the sky, boom, harmlessly. You don't have to hurt anyone, you don't have to set off any missiles, you don't have to try to chase them, right? But if it doesn't take them out, it's a radioisotope as well. So you can trace that jet by using a high gliding drone or a space drone. Either way, put something inside of it that's very simple to see, a very common radioisotope, and then scan for it. And then that way, if somebody like, let's say, I don't know, Bibi Netanyahu starts flying over your area and he's bombing your stuff, but you can't find him because he has F-35 secret jets, you launch this stuff in front of him and he goes through it and it sucks into the engines. And then if the engines don't go out, it doesn't freeze him up and he makes it back to the base, then you can prove where he's been, and then you can track those engines wherever they go because it won't be able to get out. It'll be a residue. And jet engines get extremely hot because of the way that the turbines blow and then do a reverse blow and they blow again. Totally easy to do. I mean, you could do it with a whole bunch of different things. You could do it with balloons. You could do it with a flak system. You could fire it up. You could run it on a grid. You could do it against hypersonic missiles. If you knew where the hypersonic missile was coming from, you could set up a grid based on a microwave frequency array setup, right? So you're sending out microwave frequencies that have a reflection rate on other microwave frequencies so that they bounce against each other in a triangular way like this. And then if you see something coming, you launch it there and it sucks into the engine. And because of the heat of it, it automatically fries it out. It's got to be some type of glassite. Glassite plastic. So the plastic ignites, which forces the glass to fuse, which then gets into the engine itself and tears it to shreds. So, I don't know. Something plastic, something glassite that then carbonizes. Because carbon, when it gets hot under pressure, will then become such a terrible force against itself, it'll just tear the jet engines to shreds. And the more it sucks into itself, because it's a dust, it's a powder, the design of it is, if you were to breathe it, I'm sure it'd be terrible for you. Because, I mean, you're dealing with a glassite, so it'd probably have its own fiber chemicals to it, so you'd have to handle it very, they would say, oh, you're asbestos bombs. But technically, it would be like an asbestos bomb. You could protect a lot of people without having to blow up jets or risk missing a jet and blowing up a small village.